Hello, my name is Francis Fox. I'm a trained remote viewer and trained in all psychic skills in a secret program that still hasn't been declassified. But I have to talk a little bit fast because I have an event now. But what I have to say is pretty important. So I'm going to be a little bit late to my event and make this chat podcast very short. I was in the middle of one of the events I had today. And all of a sudden, I could tell that the earth underneath New York, uh, the state, I'm not sure if it was New York City, but that area, the earth was moving. And so I finished with my event and I put up a chat, and the Mantrista movement, we started to work on that area. And yes, the area was moving. But not only that, but there is a push, which I've discussed before, for technology driven catastrophes. And there would have been one, may still be one today. They have three pieces of electronic equipment, one of them underground, what used to be like a railroad or something, is what the information I got. And then two more on different boats in the ocean right off of the coast of New York. And between the three of them, the triangulation, they were going to trigger something or had already triggered something, because that's what the reason why I stopped my event and got together with the Mantristas to start to work on that. Um, the other people in the group were able to see the earth what was overwhelmed with fire, there was movement, and so we worked with the elements, we planted trees, we put chunks of ice. In the other dimensions, there's no space or time or measurement. So you could say, well, how can you cover all that? Well, because in your head, other dimensions, it's small. You can work with it. And we called in dolphins, we called in the whole SWAT team, and we think we have it stabilized. And then we worked on the technology, one piece of equipment, the equipment that was actually on land, but underneath. The issue is that since the what happened in the Pacific, I was told by my masters that there was going to be a series of events, one after the other, and it all had to do with taking down the United States. And the flooding the other day was to take down New York City, which basically would take down the United States. And what was going on today, and may still be going on, I don't think so, but might still be going on, has to do with taking down New York City. In other words, cutting what is our business center, what is the center of us. If you ask what city represents the United States, it's New York, the city of New York. But I'm not going to dwell too much on that. We're going to go back and work on it. Today, every chat I had, every time I got together with people, and what I was told in one of them is basically what I said last week: fasten your seatbelts. When the tsunami in the Pacific, which we were able to tame by balancing the elements, they said, fasten your seatbelts. I put it on the maps, and I don't think that you can undo your seatbelts yet. But I'm going to talk about something else right now, a little bit more interesting. You know, we all have issues at some point in our life when people are after us and they like us, they don't like us, they hate us, they want to kill us. And in the other dimensions, it's interesting. So, Trump, I need for you to think about this. I have now a stalker in the other dimensions, but you know him well. His name is Schumer. He's the what? The minority leader of the Senate. For several days, this man has been stalking me, his astral body. I'm not making this up. When Schiff started to do that, I didn't really like the man, but I really didn't know anything about him. I did not know how deeply he is into the mind control program where he's in control of everybody else. I don't know what's going on with Schumer, but he is doing the same thing that Adam Schiff did. So what is it that happens? It looks like the doorway to my office is like a portal. And it's not just the bad guys that stand there or that I can see from there, but it's also masters, spirit guides, whatever. So the other day, he was so angry, this Schumer, Chuck Schumer, I think is his name, so angry at me. I mean, he was like fuming at the door. And then a couple of days later, he was basically almost attacking me in the other dimensions. Trump, we have to have stalking laws having to do with the other dimensions. And at some point, we have to understand, if I've never met this man, why is he so angry at me? And I'm sure no, I know he's even more angry because he just wants to kill me. In other words, this is not somebody who would want to be my boyfriend in the other dimensions. That's a joke. The same thing happened with Adam Schiff. The same thing has happened for years with my handler. So, what do we need to know about this? Well, it's nice to have this section on my chat having to titled Invisible Friends. This man is not a friend of mine. Now, why is he upset at me? You don't have to be a rocket scientist. If the other person from the US government, Congress, Adam Schiff, wanted me dead gone and was constantly visiting me, and now we got Schumer. Hmm, what's the connection? Well, you know what? It's nobody's dumb here. Didn't he realize he is actually, I have to be honest. He's not actually visiting me. He is so angry at me. And it's always at the times when I'm going to do a chat. Well, now I'm mixing up the times in which I'm doing this chat podcast. But when I did do it at a specific time, he gets so angry that he breaks through dimensions. That's how we get sick. When we get really angry about something, we can't do anything about it. We break internally in between dimensions and things accumulate, and then we become ill. We get illnesses. Whenever he gets ill, I couldn't care less. The thing is that he's breaking through dimensions because of his rage at me. He doesn't know what I'm going to talk about. And I don't remember, how did this all start? I don't remember how it all started. But when I first saw Shiv, he was simply standing there and staring at me. No, I didn't even see him. I could feel him, and I went, Adam Schiff is watching my chat. Why would he be watching my chat? I mean, we only have 17 people watching my chat. Of course, it's more than that. You wouldn't know that from any of the numbers because all my numbers are clamped down. So I think, Trump, that I would like to put in a request, and I think that when next time you speak to Schumer, tell him to stop bothering me in the other dimensions. And we should recommend a mantra. And the mantra would be, even though I hate everyone and everything, I love and accept myself, because I suspect that's how he feels, but he particularly hates me. I have done nothing to him. I have never spoken of him. I had no idea about anything about him. And I don't actually need to look, Trump, because I suspect that you kind of already know something. I'm sure other people know something. The only reason he could be angry at me is if he thinks I'm going to reveal something about him, or I've already revealed something that is unveiling something that he would want to stay hidden. I don't want to bore you with this. Can somebody please speak to this man and tell him? Actually, you cannot really tell him to go away because he's not coming to visit me. Schiff was watching me. This man is breaking through in rages, and then after that, he has started to attack me. You all have heard about spirit attacks. I think Tucker Carlton, that's how scrambled all the people that are doing stuff on me are doing, because I really like Tucker, whichever is his last name or first name. He had a entity attack. This is an entity attack, but it's Schumer. What the hell's the matter with our Congress? I think that we're going to come to the conclusion when we look in backwards that it was mind control programs and the ability to mind control and knowledge that basically very few people have. That is what took this country down, and is what has 300,000 children lost, and has everybody brain dead. So this is not good news, but on the other hand, it is good news because this is getting revealed. So I managed to talk 9 minutes about Schumer. What can I tell you? I wanted to tell you something. Anyway, Trump, you need to set up some laws for astral attacks, astral stalkers. Um, When I first started to talk in the 90s, when I started to remember my history and the tortures and the rapes and and the whole mind control thing, I didn't realize till later that I was classified as an agent that went bad. I was a rogue agent. I didn't even know I was an agent. I was just an obedient mind control victim. I never got paid. So, and I was assigned a babysitter. And that babysitter was a CIA agent who was really sick, really, really, really sick, really sick. And he was assigned to me. And I had gone to high school with him. I was like, hey, how you doing, Francis? He would come over to visit. We're going to have a lot of agents that go rogue as soon as they start to wake up. But they never knew they were agents. Now, were they paid? I don't know. But what I'm telling you is this is one hell of a mess we're in. Because if anybody had ever said to me, "You're an agent gone rogue," in those years, I would have said, "Listen, I'm not the crazy one here. You guys are the ones that were crazy," but they were right because I had been obedient until then. So I'm sure that I'm still classified by certain people in the US intelligence, the bad guys, as an agent that went rogue. And they're still trying to draw me back in, especially with certain abilities that I have. So, what's happening with the particular men that want me dead because I'm destroying their life? They are spending a ton of money on black magic on me. I mean, a ton of money. What's happening with Grove Isle? That's where the guy that made the connection between black magic and psychotronic weapons, that's where he lives. Now, here's the thing: if you have a kid or somebody you love, they shouldn't live on Grove Isle. Those machines are not supposed to be near people, and the people that work them become mentally ill. That's known. If you meet anybody in that field, they will tell you that. The people that handle those machines become very mentally ill because it's frequencies and it just screws people up. But I feel bad because I know of kids that were born on Grove Isle. And I know of people who have kids in Grove Isle and spend a ton of money on getting the tutoring and the this and the that. And I have to tell you, I'm sure a lot of it can be attributed to the fact that they're doing all of this radiation with the psychotronic weapons from Grove Isle. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of it is done when you enter the island, immediately to the right, there's a series of whatevers. And I think I had identified, but it doesn't really matter if it's there. It's also in the apartment of this man. I've given enough information. You should know about this. This needs to be taken care of. That can't continue to operate. So I'm going to, what time is it? Oh, I'm already 4 minutes late for my event. So we're going to have to leave it for later. So, bottom line, apocalypse now. We are in the most dramatic part of the apocalypse. You fasten your seatbelts, and my group, the Mantrista movement, will continue to work to balance the elements whenever we understand and pick up, such as today, when I could actually, in the middle of an event I was given and I was talking, I could see the earth moving under New York. So I'm going to give you a mantra, and it would really help if you did it. Mantras are magic because they work on the mind, and with them, you can focus and intention and vitalize it. So the mantra would be, give me a second to think about it. Please, God, help us with our intention to miraculously balance the elements. Please, God, help us with our intention to miraculously balance the element. There's a 33 people are watching, and that's a sacred number. It's a master number. Jesus Christ was 33. Now there are people that are reaching 44. 33 is good enough. Please, God, help us with our intention to miraculously balance the elements. So you go, okay, which elements in New York, Pacific? We don't really know because it's not being decided by nature, whatever. It's being decided by people, bad people with technology, like the guy in Grove Isle. Okay? Knowledgeable people. So what you do is before you start, you simply say to God, listen, I don't know where this is needed, but I want to balance the elements where it is needed so that there won't be an opportunity for the bad guys to play with their technology and basically create chaos, which is what they're looking for. So, Trump laws having to do with stalking in the other dimensions, assaults in the other dimensions. Now, there's an issue there because, like, Tucker was assaulted, from what I read very superficially, but I think he was assaulted simply by a spirit that never had a physical body. Whereas Schumer has a physical body, is still alive, and is stalking me and attacking me. So, how would those laws different? I don't really know. Okay. Thank you for joining me. I have a group of people waiting for me, and they actually paid. So I really need to trolley on over there. Thank you. I'm Francis Fox. Please do the mantra. Okay. Bye.
We are ending a cycle on planet Earth, and it is time that you understand your relationship to good and evil in the history of the planet. I have a story to tell you. It may help to explain a lot of things in your life, but also help to give perspective on the history of the planet. It may change the way you view the transformation planet Earth is going through now. I had a session years ago with a client who was a really nice man, but with considerable darkness in his life. I asked how I could help him, and he said he did not know. The time with me was not his idea. I said I would look at his planetary history to find the most important information that would help him to understand himself. I went back to his life in Lemuria, the civilization before Atlantis. An angel appeared to him saying, "We need your help." He responded in that lifetime, "I'm willing to help. What do you need?" They said what they needed was difficult, and he responded that he was willing. They said a darkness had come over the planet, and most souls were too weak to handle the darkness. He repeated he would help. What did the angels need from him? They said they needed him to take on the darkness, as many souls were too weak. He responded, "I will do it." They told him it would be hard because he would not remember, and he might get lost in the darkness. He said he would do it for the others. Widen your lens, and it might help you to understand the violence and conflict today on planet Earth. Perhaps the most important aspect of your life in relations to others is not that you are Jewish or Christian or American or French or Iranian. Perhaps the most important aspect of you is that you are from planet Earth, and there are others out there that are different and have different intentions from those who are from here. Perhaps now we really need to understand what is going on. We are in a final battle between light and dark on planet Earth. We need to widen our lens to know who we are and who our true enemies are. We are multidimensional beings. We have parts of ourselves in several dimensions at a time. We are energetically structured like the tree of life, which is the backbone of our multidimensional system. Our individual sacred tree of life is our chakra system. Its central axis is the trunk of the tree of your life. It is your holy grail, with its funnel-like structure at the top, drawing in off-planet energies, and a funnel-like shape at the bottom, drawing in earth energies. Unfortunately, the top of your tree of life will be filled with the energy of Xibalba, what the Mayans call the path to the underworld, and scientists call the dark rift because of the alignments of the planets, which complete on December 21st, 2012. Unfortunately, the bottom of your tree of life, your holy grail, is already susceptible to the energies from Xibalba due to Earth's broken Brahmavara. Who is going to take on the darkness from the broken Brahmavara in the Gulf of Mexico? Who is going to take on the darkness that will enter the planet via the supermassive black hole that is aligning with planet Earth? Who will go to war to process the violence and conflict that is pouring onto the planet now? Who will kill and maim and be killed and injured to protect those of us who are not strong enough to process those energies? If it is true that Jerusalem is to be the site of the final battle between light and dark, good and evil, then the peoples who spiritually chose to carry the dark energy poured onto the planet are sacrificing themselves for all of us. Jerusalem, Israelis, Palestinians, Colombians, Iranians, all willing to battle for all of us souls, sacrificing themselves by processing the energies of conflict and violence so that we can be free. As in Lemurian times, a darkness is now entering the planet, and there will be souls who will sacrifice themselves for the rest of us.